Hello, welcome to Fanfiction Theatre. I'm Tristan from QuipTracks. With me is Tracy from QuipTracks.
That's me.
Michael T. Brett.
Hello.
Right, well, let's try that again. With me is Tracy from QuipTracks.
Yep, that's me, Tracy.
Tracy, your cat is going to knock down your violin or whatever it is back there. Oh, no, okay. Never mind, sorry.
Violin?
That's not even...
I will tell the native peoples you just offended. I was
trying to get the words out of my mouth quickly. Sorry.
Just now canceled is Michael T. Bradley from Ice on Mars.
Hey, everybody.
Violin enthusiast.
We've got Quinn from QuipTracks.
Hello.
And Drew Brock.
I'm not funny.
From Drawback
Can we do
Productions.
Tracy's intro again, please? Thank you.
Oh, yeah, and we've got
the
Tracy
top,
from
from the top.
QuipTracks.
Oh,
Forgot to say
that's right, yeah.
yeah. Yes, it's me.
All right, I have what I need.
That's the one. We're going with that one.
I can't.
That's the one. That's the magic, people. That's a wrap on Tracy. Good night,
I
Tracy.
won't deny it.
Okay, so I think I want to start out with Venom's New Beginning tonight.
Dessert first.
Yeah. I checked the chapter. It seems like a really long one, so we'll probably just do one. That'll probably take us to the halfway point. Then we'll show some fan art, and then we'll go over to Reba.
Quinn, Kitty says that you are so funny. You are.
I see that.
Okay, and a little heart.
Did you see the heart? Can you confirm receipt of the heart?
I saw the heart.
Are we on chapter 11? Is that where we are?
I believe so. But you know what? I can actually just type into the chat, ! Fanfics. It'll have the links to all of them. And the right chapters. So yes, it is 11.
Exciting.
Okay, now Kitty put 4 hearts, so she might be having a stroke.
No, that means she's a Time Lord.
Okay.
Didn't you see my bumper sticker about it?
One new feature that I added up at the top. I've got drinking games going for some of our series. The drinking game for Venom's New Beginning is It Was Then or That Was When. And I went back through the chapters. Yeah. Where the running total is 35 for the past 10 chapters.
And that's like a cup of cough syrup, right? You're going to kill people otherwise.
We're only doing one chapter. So it's...
I mean, a cup of cough syrup.
Yeah,
probably wouldn't be very helpful for them.
That'll probably fuck you up pretty hardcore too.
There is this thing called robo-tripping.
Okay, so help me with the joke instead of tearing it apart, okay? It's called Yes and.
Well, I don't know if yes and works that well when you're giving out fake medical advice.
What has a comically low amount of alcohol? Mouthwash?
Yes, and iodine is another way to...
Yes, and I thank you for your input.
Goes down smooth.
Spitfire says also don't drink mouthwash, so apparently that's off the list too.
What can we drink?
All right, chapter 11. Queen Elsa awoke surrounded by darkness. As soon as she opened her eyes, the memories flooded her mind, along with the guilt.
I was playing Elsa, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
All right. Addie!
She yelled as the image of freezing his heart flashed through her mind. She began to move, but something was restraining her arms, keeping her from going anywhere. Eventually, her eyes started to adjust to the darkness, and she was able to see what was holding her back. Her hands were chained over her head, keeping her restrained in place. You really need your eyes to know that your hands are chained? I mean, it seems unnecessary. But...
Well, I'm just confused.
Looking around the room, Elsa thought she was in a dungeon, but it just didn't add up. Sure, it was dark and cold, and yes, there were shackles holding her back.
Okay. Check.
But this could have been like any guy she dated in college, really.
Yeah.
Can't hear anything.
But the chamber was far too large, and there was equipment and strange tools littered all around the room. Apparently, she was in a laboratory of some kind. Using her ice power, she attempted to freeze her shackles. She had performed a similar trick back when she accidentally froze Arendelle, and surely it would work again. However, much to her shock, her power didn't work on them. Taking a closer look at them, she saw that they were shimmering with some kind of strange force. You would think with the shimmering, she would have noticed the shackles. Oh, well.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
This serpentine.
I'm afraid there's no escaping from those things, Your Majesty.
I like that everyone keeps confirming that she is Majesty.
Yeah.
Looking across the room, she saw Serpentine lighting torches to illuminate the room. As the room got brighter, Elsa saw him continue to speak to her without taking his eyes off of his task.
We all figured you'd try to use your ice powers to get away, and so the Master enchanted those shackles.
After Serpentine lit the final torch, he slowly walked over to the Queen and added,
Also, I'm not going to fall for the same trick twice, Queen Elsa.
Seeing the confusion on her face and deciding to play on it, he mocked,
I'm going to play on that.
What's the matter, Your Highness? Don't you recognize me?
He slowly turned into his human form and asked,
How about now?
causing Elsa to gasp when she recognized him.
Prince Hans.
Former prince, that is.
Hans corrected,
Thanks to you and your sister.
What happened to you, Hans?
she asked. Hans gave a sly smile and told her everything.
After you banished me back to my homeland, and then made sure that my family found out about my actions, my life became a literal hell on earth. I went from being...
How dare she teach him that there are consequences to actions? How dare she?
I went from being 12th in line for the throne to being cut off altogether.
That wasn't even the worst part of it, though. No, not even close.
Hans's eyes shimmered for a few seconds, revealing his snake-like eyes. Then, as they went back to normal, then as they went back to normal, he continued.
What truly added insult to injury was the fact that I was disowned by my own family. My own parents had put me into prison and caged me up like I was some kind of animal.
Like a snake,
Like
perhaps.
a snake, exactly. My own father said, never let him see the light of day again. Do you know what it's like to have your own father say that? I can assure you, Your Majesty, that it's not a good feeling. Feels bad, man.
He paused for a moment and then said with an evil smile,
Still, where my family rejected me, Tyrannus accepted me.
Tyrannus?
Elsa asked aloud. Probably not necessary to point out the aloud part, but hey, why not?
My master, he came to me on one night in my dreams and offered me a chance at redemption and, better yet, vengeance. He also promised me that if I agreed to serve him, then he would give me great power and the means to escape from prison. Of course I swore my allegiance to him, and then I became Serpentine. That was when the fun started.
Honey. Oh, honey, we've all had that deal made.
He taught me that with great power comes escaping from prison. When he said that, he changed back into a serpentine form and flickered his tongue.
His
Not
fork-shaped
flicked, but
tongue.
flickered.
Yeah, it's like a neon light.
He's like a displacer beast.
Wow. Wait, flickered his tongue. Oh, in the middle there. Okay. Of course, I had a score to settle with the guards and other inmates who made my life miserable there. You could say I took a few talents for a test run. Took my new talents for a test run.
Man, he sure likes to talk, huh?
Yep.
He quickly extended his fangs when he made that last remark indicating what he meant to Elsa.
Get it?
But why?
Did it say?
But why, Hans?
She asks, still not understanding his new allegiance to Tyrannus.
Why not?
He shot back.
You see, Tyrannus is a very generous master, but a choosy one. He doesn't bestow these gifts on just anyone. You need to have the right motivation to join his ranks. That's why he chose Carnage and I. We both share a desire to cause destruction. And that's why he has chosen someone new to join us.
Someone new?
She asked aloud.
Card key.
But her eyes widened when she realized who Serpentine meant. Venom. It was never her that they were after. It was Eddie. Holy shit, he used a semicolon correctly. Suddenly her visions began to make sense. Tyrannus had his sights on Venom.
The Master has the gift of seeing into the future. In fact, that's how he learned of Venom and Carnage to begin with. It was he who changed the coordinates.
Does that count?
It was
Does that
he.
count as it was
no,
Venom?
No. It's close. You can take a sip if you want to.
All right.
It just wafted the smell to your face.
Yes. Take a waft, people. Okay. It was he who changed the coordinates of the portal that sucked them in and brought them here. After their little scrap was interrupted by that avalanche with a capital
apparently Avalanche.
A.
Apparently Avalanche was a supervillain we didn't realize.
Or banned.
Or
Tyrannus managed to confront and recruit Carnage, but he just wasn't after one symbiote. He wants them both. Carnage.
You get a symbiote. You get a symbiote.
Gotta collect all 6. Carnage is a psychotic maniac and the perfect addition to our little league. But the rage and frustration...
Perfect addition to this complete package.
Why does he call it a little league?
Right, it's
Our
like
little league team.
that's what I was picturing. Like, it's like Carnage has one too many DUIs, so he has to go coach a little league team.
Oh, no.
Dads are screaming at them.
My theory is that they're just on the Little League team. They are the players of the Little League team.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bad news symbiotes.
Okay, but let's hear in the chat. Whose reality are we going with?
You can choose the canon. Okay.
I mean, it's still my headcanon that Mikhail Gorbachev is writing this, so.
That's right.
Little League. But the rage and frustration of Eddie Brock is what makes Venom the ultimate weapon.
Wait,
Hell-
hold on. No. We just watched a whole movie about the
He's
perfect weapon.
yeah. He's not the perfect.
I was gonna say,
weapon.
isn't? Yeah.
He's the last weapon.
Okay, but that kind of implies that somewhere along the line, Axon Ray lost to another weapon that became the ultimate one?
No, this is in the past, though.
Yeah, it's true. So in the future, Axon Ray will be the perfect weapon.
Yeah. Yeah.
After whoever it was in 1991, I can't remember his name. Anyway,
He'll never join you. He's nothing like Carnage.
Elsa yelled at him, causing Serpentine to chuckle and say,
Oh, but I think he will.
I think that was more of a chortle than a chuckle. but He quickly pointed to his heart, reminding her of what happened earlier. Serpentine continued,
Thanks to you freezing Eddie's heart for us. You unwillingly put our plan into play. Although the circumstances are very similar to when you froze Anna's heart.
derivative, you might even
It's
say.
still not the same. Okay?
Uh-oh.
He
got
may
some
not be the same Venom as when he first arrived in Arendelle, I grant you.
I'll grant you that.
I'll grant you. He may not be the same Venom as when he first arrived in Arendelle, but there's still darkness deep down inside him that's screaming to come out. Did you hear his song? Did you hear his cover of Godsmack? It's screaming. By freezing his heart, all of the good in him will die, and the Eddie Brock that you know and care for will be gone forever. Venom will be ours.
I guess we're changing scenes here.
Apparently. I have no idea who's talking. A familiar voice. Who wants to take
Elsa,
a familiar
Elsa, apparently. Apparently it's Elsa.
Okay.
That's
Eddie,
familiar. It's our
Are
Oh.
you? Is it
No,
Elsa?
no, it's not.
No,
Elsa.
it's Anna, apparently.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'll-
who's doing
I'll
that.
do- I'll just do Anna. It doesn't matter.
I was at one point, but
Yeah.
I gave
it's-
it.
You're a little occupied right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I could do it and this if I wanted to. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
please,
Sure.
just
Sure.
move
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
Who-
We believe.
You better.
All right. Let's see. Anna voice. Anna voice. Eddie, you awake, man?
A familiar voice broke through the darkness, causing Eddie Brock to slowly open his eyes. Once the blurriness began to subside, he remembered everything that happened.
He pressed down on the Wiimote D-pad to blink. Elsa!
He exclaimed as he tried to sit up. However, the strange pain shot through his body again, causing him to fall back onto the ground.
I
lost everybody.
Is that hello?
No.
What was that?
Did you scream and it cut it off? Is that
yeah,
what happened?
Yeah, I did it. I did
Okay.
the scream.
Oh, that's sad. We
Arg.
lost
You
it.
knocked us off the air.
Arrgh.
He screamed and convulsed, causing everyone around him to panic. Seeing some residual ice over his heart, Anna gasped and answered,
His heart is frozen. This is not good, guys. Trust me. I know.
Eddie shook his head and said,
I'm okay. I just need to sit up for a second.
While Kristoff helped him sit up and leaned him against a nearby stone, Anna spoke again.
Eddie, there's something you need to know. While you were unconscious, some people found us. I don't know any delicate way to put this, but they know you.
Oh god, it's Spider-Man now.
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Oh, it's that
Spider-Man!
Oh, it's Spider-Man.
I guess I'll take Spider-Man. Hello,
I know, that's
Eddie.
hard.
An all too familiar voice greeted. Once he realized who it was, Eddie jumped up with renewed strength and roared,
Spider-Man!
As he stood face to face with his archenemy, he balled his fists and attempted to throw a punch, but he violently convulsed again and collapsed. Once he regained his composure, he asked Spider-Man,
I suppose you're here to finish me off.
to which Spider-Man replied,
No, I've got bigger fish to fry, and it appears we have the same enemy.
When Spider-Man finished speaking, Iron Man flew down and landed on the ground with his built-in jetpacks. As he slowly touched down, Anna, Kristoff, Olaf, and Sven looked to him with awe. Then Olaf innocently asked,
I wonder if he'll give me a ride.
Once Iron Man's jetpacks cut off, he walked up to where Eddie and Spider-Man were and said,
I'm imagining him with jetpacks strapped onto his hands and feet. And he has
Just
to
little
cut
ones,
them
right?
off.
Like skates.
Yeah. All right. Can anybody do a Robert Downey Jr.? Do you think you can?
I am on
okay.
record. Like, there's a clip of me apologizing for trying to do RDJ.
Well, you were trying to do Christian Slater doing Robert Downey Jr.
That's tricky.
Yeah.
Points for difficulty. I located the other symbiote and his snaky friend. That's where we are.
yeah.
Oh, wait.
Pretend that's my Robert Downey Jr. voice.
Okay.
That's good enough.
Yeah, it's fine.
Where?
It's a Caucasian male.
Spider-Man asked.
An old rundown castle a few miles to the north of our position, and according to my scanners, they have a third person with them.
A narrator.
Elsa!
Anna exclaimed while Eddie nodded his head in agreement as he managed to get on his feet and ask,
Yeah.
How did you even get here? In this time period, I mean.
Without missing a beat, Iron Man filled him in.
Not too long ago, after you and Carnage went through that portal, some strange things started happening in the world. Something unnatural. Darkness consumed the world unlike anything we've ever seen.
Off the charge. Never seen anything
Yeah.
like it.
Oh God, it's very Trumpish. Oh, like nothing you've ever seen.
Total humans in the world completely absent.
And it was by some miracle that Iron Man here had the intuition to double check the coordinates of the portal's destination and found where you two went.
Spider-Man added in.
By some miracle.
so-
That's my favorite phrase in storytelling.
I'm so happy I'm narrating this section. Iron Man continued.
Iron Man continued and continued and continued. After we found out where you
It's
went,
just
we
it's
knew
just
we had to do something.
it's just great because it's like everything that I say is just Spider-Man said, Iron Man said, said Spider-Man.
Look, this would fall apart without you.
I just
After we found out where you went.
Soundboard.
Yeah, let's just do that.
So
And then
remember how
especially
easily
soundboard clip.
replaceable you are.
We need
Next
just
time
this
we
person,
go
that
to
person said.
negotiation.
And we have to do a buttons for it was then and that was when too.
Yeah.
Because those come up.
Yeah, you
After
can.
we
Oh,
found out where you sorry.
sorry, just one more thought on this topic.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
What if?
Okay.
What if?
They ever came back?
Well, just go on. Just go on. Just keep going.
What?
Well, what
Going,
if
man. That was a
What?
test?
Okay.
what if we had
Test
Michael?
of our camaraderie, and you
Okay.
failed.
We all thought you had something to say there, buddy.
But I clearly didn't.
Did we
Iron
miss
Man
a that was
continued.
when?
Iron Man, I don't think so.
It was in a line of
I've been
Oh.
Iron Man continued.
Yes, he sure did. After we found out where you went, we knew it had something to do with the darkness in our world. So I activated another portal and we jumped to the exact same coordinates that brought you here.
Once he finished speaking, Spider-Man spoke again.
Kristoff and Princess Anna here filled us in about the current situation, and I think we know what their plans are.
Knowing he had their attention, he continued.
Everybody, eyes up here. When Iron Man and I first arrived in Arendelle, we came across the scene of a massacre at the Royal Museum there.
Anna's eyes widened with shock when she learned of that fact. She was all too familiar with that place. Her father would take her and Elsa there when they were younger, and she was also friends with its director.
They were after an ancient incantation book known as the Mundus Calcator, and left 3 guards dead in their wake for it.
He quickly took a breath and remained silent a moment for the guard's honor. Then finished.
Is he not allowed to breathe during a moment of silence? Or
Okay. After that, Ironman here did some research with his digital archives on his helmet's computer.
I like the image of him like taking off his helmet and like typing in.
It turns out that this book has the power to open a doorway to other worlds, and I don't think they're going through all this trouble to leave.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
They want to bring something here.
Eddie Brock finished his sentence for him.
Thanks.
That's Iron Man. Exactly, but not just anyone, in fact, but a Dark Lord named Tyrannus. Tyrannus? When I flew over their hideout, my microphone managed to pick up on some of their chatter.
Ironman interceded.
Sure.
Sure did. Sure did.
That was when Peter Parker, a.k.a. Spider-Man, pitched into Eddie.
Oh, huge spoilers. How could you do that?
Okay. Peter Parker, a.k.a. Spider-Man, pitched into Eddie.
We're going to need all the help we can get, and apparently, so do you.
This is you again.
Sorry.
You
Okay.
get to talk to yourself.
Yeah, you're
funny.
right. Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, there's
Spitfire.
missing quotes. This is tricky.
Spitfire says surprised he could hear over all the strapped-on jetpacks.
No, he cut them off. Remember, he cut them all off.
Well, he
No,
had
you said
he
when
had
he
them
was
on when he
flying
was
over.
flying over the.
Yeah, he said the microphone.
thingy.
Aren't they
picked it
just
up.
melting
He's
into
got
the
like
snow
a
right
boom
now?
mic
Just going deeper and deeper.
What makes you think?
Worst sound man ever.
What makes you think that we will trust you?
Venom shot back, to which Spider-Man answered,
Look, I know you have your problems with me, but I wasn't the one with the problem. It was you who had the problem with me. You took everything from me, Parker. It's because of you.
We used to have a cat named Parker, so I'm imagining him pointing a finger at a
Just looking
cat.
sad.
You took everything from me, Parker. It's because of you that I lost my job, my apartment, respect from my peers. Your health.
Oh, sorry.
Christoph.
I read Christoph, but I thought Olaf. So
Your health.
Unforgivable.
Christoph added, also, Iron Man's like, who's what, Parker, what? Christoph added in as he remembered his story from the previous night, to which Eddie pointed and said,
Thank you.
truth be told, Eddie Brock was right on the issue. When the symbiote landed on Earth, it bonded with Spider-Man first, giving him great power on top of his own. However, the symbiote started to consume Spider-Man and influence him to do things that he himself would never have done.
Finger guns, dancing.
Including wreck Eddie's life. Once he
Yeah.
acknowledged Christoph, Eddie lamented further.
Why couldn't you have just left me alone after I got fired? You humiliated me. You humiliated me when you had my firing on the front page of the Daily Bulge. Sorry.
The Daily Bulge?
No, sorry. That was me. That was me.
Oh my god.
At a glance.
That was my
Yeah.
bad. Bugle. Daily
Oh,
Bugle.
Very
Daily
different
Bugle
paper there.
He was also on the front page of the Daily Bulge, but for unrelated reasons.
You had them make a complete loser of me, calling me a joke and a nobody.
Is that
Did
is
the
that
Daily
kind of-
Bugle really?
Yeah, that's the kind of
Eddie
reporting they
Brock
do.
is loser. Eddie Brock is joke and nobody.
Do you know what it's like to be laughed at and ridiculed by total complete strangers who only know you because they saw your picture in the city's most read newspaper? Well,
Your bulge.
they daily bulge.
So what's terrible here is the author is trying to do like dramatic irony, right? But Venom knows that he's Peter Parker. Venom has his memories, so this doesn't work, right?
I mean, yeah, it would seem.
Yeah.
He has
Just
the symbiote's memories? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, the symbiote got Peter's memories because they were symbiotic, and so that's how he knows that he's Peter Parker.
Gotcha.
He calls him Parker and everything. And so it's like the idea is, of course, Spider-Man knows what this is like, right? This is JJ hates him and does all this stuff all the time, and it's
Right.
supposed to be dramatic irony, but Venom, it's not dramatic irony because the character knows that anyway.
Right.
Sorry, I'm just Spider-Man nitpicking. Never mind. It's
Yeah. Well, you were doing everything in your power to ruin my life. Nobody even took the time to realize that it was already over.
Eddie took a breath as small a tear rolled down his face.
Wait, I've been kind of zoning in and out. Is he talking about the last day of camp?
The Daily Bulge called him a joke. That's
Yeah.
all you need to know. Getting back his
wait,
composure.
Eddie took a breath as small as the tear that rolled down his face? Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe? Getting back his composure, he elaborated.
I was dying of cancer. I never told anyone because I didn't want people feeling sorry for me. I wanted to get the most out of the life that I had left, but you took that from me and more. There were nights where I laid awake contemplating suicide. I felt like the pain of living outweighed the pain of death, and I just wanted it all to end.
This
Although
author,
she heard it.
this author,
Yeah.
like Neil Breen, is a fan of the quadruple period ellipsis. Just want to point that
Interesting.
out.
How do we know that Breen is?
Because of I am here ... now.
Oh, really? I never noticed that. This is what losing your eyesight does to you. You miss the ellipses comedy out there in the world.
Yeah.
Although she heard everything the previous night along with the rest of the group, Anna couldn't help but feel sympathy for Eddie. Olaf was right. He didn't become evil because he was bad. He became evil because he's misunderstood. That still makes no goddamn sense.
Like Hitler.
Eddie Brock.
Oh, still evil.
Eddie Brock was wronged in so many ways, and when the symbiote bonded with him, not only did it heal him of his cancer, but it offered him the opportunity to strike back against the society that wronged him. Feeling ashamed and even remorseful, Spider-Man took off his mask to look Eddie Brock in the eyes and said,
Look, Eddie, what I did was wrong. No one should have to go through what you did.
Okay. What you did go through. Got it.
If I could do it all over again just to make it right, then I would. For what
let me
it's
play a
worth-
Godsmack song for you.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry. But I will say this, though. When I had the symbiote, it influenced me to do those horrible things, and at one point, I truly lost myself to it. But it's different with you. Although gave into your rage and hatred at first, you somehow learned to control the symbiote. There's more. When I had the symbiote, I pushed away the people I loved and cared about, and I almost lost them forever too.
Peter Parker said that with regret. He then pointed to... Huh?
You lost them to what?
His hair changed color. It was a different style.
He then-
he cabaret
he then-
dancing. He lost
he
him to
then-
heaven.
He then pointed to Eddie and brought his point home.
Almost than it was then, but Spitfire points out badness always leads to evil.
It is possibly true.
I think that's what Yoda said famously.
But based on what I've heard,
We're just gonna say everybody's pretty amused in the chat about Daily Bulge.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kitty says she finds them constantly under your mattress.
Yeah.
Wait.
Heyo.
Based on what I've heard, it's been the exact opposite with you and the Queen. What I heard, you were able to use it to protect her, along with her family here. You did that because you love her and care for her, don't you? More than anything in this world.
Eddie responded with a slight smile.
I'm sorry,
Exactly.
Where did he hear this from?
What's that?
Spider-Man? How long Spider-Man been here that he knows the word on the street about
Yeah,
him protecting?
I know.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
a little
Spider-Man is
confused. I
clearly
thought they just
watched.
came through a portal.
Spider-Man has clearly watched Frozen, and
Okay, yes.
and its sequel Frozen 1.5, and so
Well, he's got a leg up on all of us. 'Cause none of us know quite what happened.
Frozen 1.5, fun fact, is where Disney started to actually make use of their acquisition of the Marvel property.
Is it really?
All right.
Yeah,
Loving it.
Avengers, complete waste of time.
Okay.
The real
Good to
money
know.
was in Frozen 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. The fact that you did all of that for her with the symbiote shows me that you're not a joke. You're not a nobody.
Despite what the Daily Bulge says.
Don't listen to the
Indeed, I
Daily
would-
Bulge. Underneath your lust for vengeance and destruction, you're a good man, Eddie Brock. Underneath your lusty bulge.
underneath your lust for vengeance and destruction, you're a good man,
Yeah,
Charlie Brown.
This is how it works.
He's a good guy.
Just because.
So what if he threw cars at me a few times?
Yeah.
So I'm asking you again, will you please help us? If only to save Queen Elsa.
Somewhat moved by his speech, Eddie answered,
Somewhat moon.
"Yeah,
All right, I'm in.
there you go, my loyal." There you go, my loyal Venomites. I hope you enjoyed this chapter and the heart-to-heart moment that Spider-Man and Venom shared. I put a lot of thought and time into this chapter, and now that Spider-Man and Iron Man have formed an alliance with Venom, things are going to get intense.
Oh
And
boy.
real quick, while I'm thinking about it, I realized that back in Chapter 10, when Serpentine first comes into contact with the group, he threatens to kill Elsa, but later in the story, they said they weren't allowed to kill her. I just want to take this opportunity to shed some light on this.
Please.
Basically, it's true, neither he nor Carnage were allowed to kill Elsa. Serpentine was just making empty threats to scare them. Anyway, now that we got that cleared up, I feel better, lol. Until next time, Venomites.
Wait a minute. I'm confused. Does this author share Steve Plank's views on God? Or
We
not?
need to know.
It is the most pressing question of the day.
I'm going to leave a review. Do you or do you not share Steve Plank's views on God?
You have a legal obligation to be truthful in this matter.
For those who
Post-review.
wanted to win a no prize because of this, you cannot.
That is the first review that we've officially posted on Fanfiction Theatre.
Where do I click to say that review is unhelpful?
Okay, I'm gonna do
I don't know Steve Plank's views on
Oh God,
God.
man of the year
So fun.
1989. Gorbachev is going to take this down now. And we're never going to know how it ends.
Oh God, what have I done? Okay, we were gonna take a short break and look at some fan fiction.
Fan art? you
Fan
mean?
art.
fan art of the fan.
Fan fiction fan art.
Fiction fan.
Now the fan fiction begins.
But now we get to the fan fiction.
That was the new Jack Reacher book.
So,
Actually.
so actually, they did explain that, like at the end of the last chapter, that Iron Man broke Elsa and the gang, or not Elsa, Anna and the gang out of the ice sculpture. So that does answer how they had heard everything about, because Spitfire made it talked about it and we talked about it in the chat. But if you remember, he got them free before they suffocated to death, and so assumedly they've all been talking, and everybody's just been like, "Oh, Eddie's amazing." So
Sure. I follow.
I like to give credit where credit's due.
Okay, first up, this one is by
Misha
Quinn.
accepts my logic, isn't happy about it.
This is
Ooh.
Quinn's
Oh, yes.
Comrade Elsa versus Capitalist Carnage.
Okay.
Very nice, very nice. I think the mustache is what makes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the mustache, I can't stop looking at.
Thinking of Elsa,
I like
it just
it?
brought Joe Stalin to mind.
Yeah. And this is a reference to last chapter where Elsa threw an ice space sickle at Carnage.
Oh, that's right, an
I
icicle.
get it.
I forgot about the
I get it.
icicles.
Yeah.
I knew we
See?
had mentioned it, but I thought it was just. I mean, it's kind of obvious, right? Because the bad guy's always capitalism.
Yeah.
for sure.
I do like the
gonna-
monocle.
I feel the need to make a statement.
Okay.
For those of you watching, I could not get that drawing to come out the way I wanted. It looked, and like I looked on the Discord and I was like, oh, from far away, that's creepy. I don't like that.
What? Wait,
So-
what drawing are you talking about?
Apologies.
The Elsa chained up.
Yeah.
That drawing. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
it was just supposed to be a cartoon of her noticing the shackles and understanding and saying, ah.
Instead, it
Okay.
kind of looked like a screenshot from Hostel. And so,
Right.
Yeah, so that I
Was that
didn't
not
make it
the-
work. I'm sorry. I accept full responsibility, and I will be talking to any parents that are concerned after the show.
Okay.
if you're just joining us, we're reading a story about a woman lying bruised and beaten in a dungeon.
Which is apparently a laboratory because it's too big to be a dungeon. I guess, like Spitfire
This
says,
dungeon
this
is
looks
not
like
on
a
the dungeon
dungeon, but
code.
there's no way. Okay, next up, we've got Carnage on the sleigh ride.
Wait a minute. I can't see these.
Uh-oh. Go back. He can't miss.
Can somebody just throw them into the Discord?
Uh,
Or
I don't know how.
system than this?
Are you?
Yeah, Misha, if you
All right, I'm just gonna.
you could post them in the fanfiction text channel.
You're my eyes.
Quinn, are you able to get yours in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll fit.
Meantime, I'm going to move on with this. Okay, this is another collab, correct? This is
Yeah.
Elsa and Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock is professing love for Elsa, but just then Carnage is throwing a sleigh at him.
It was then. No, I like how Carnage looks like E.T. crossed with Mr. Hanky.
Yep.
So much happening. Wow.
This is so. This is again. We did it so that one of us did the sketches and then the other finished everything.
Uh-huh.
And I was the one who sketched this, and like we gave ourselves a fair, like we were loose with the time limit, but we gave ourselves a time limit for the sketch.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have drawn everything but Carnage. I'll just kind of make this bean-looking character, and we'll go from there. And so,
I love it. It's better than regular
Bean
Carnage.
boy.
Improvement, I would say.
I do have to say, Eddie's hips don't lie.
Oh, man, look
Yeah,
at that.
yeah.
Girl,
He got hips
you
for
gotta hit
days.
the gym.
But do we got a booty?
Wait, are we not shaming that as a muffin top yet right now? Oh, I can't keep up.
I also like that. I think like I looked up Elsa and I was like, oh my god, like she's like an Avatar alien. That's kind of what she looks like, you know.
Yeah.
So I thought
Oh,
Quinn
yeah, I see
captured that really well too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I loved the drawing of Elsa when I first did it, and I did like the matte color, and then I did then I put the eyeshadow on, and it popped.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous.
Oh, also, Misha thinks my joke with the writing is too obscure, but I think somebody got it because I heard somebody say it was then. So, because it's everything is crossed out after 'twas then.
I would. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I didn't see
have
the
a
end.
question.
Okay.
I have a question about the picture.
Uh-huh.
Those are ice. That's an ice sickle, is it not?
Oh, we're
Quinn's?
back on the. Yes.
Yes, that is an ice sickle.
I get it. It just all came together for me. I didn't quite get it. I loved it, but I didn't get why. Because of the ice sickle.
Yeah.
This has been Tracy Gets a Joke for 20 minutes ago.
Tracy gets a joke from last episode.
Okay.
It'll be a recurring segment.
So, I
Okay.
can't wait to find out what joke he gets next week.
All right.
Half
Sleigh
my
Ride.
brain is drawing. Okay.
And now we've got Ramey's been kidnapped. I'll call the cops. Don't be a fucking idiot, Reba. He's obviously been raptured. And out the window we can see a little naked Ramey.
Wait, what? He's got a sword and he's chasing dogs and.
That's a drawing.
Yeah.
No, those are toys on a
that's
shelf.
drawing.
Toys on a
Oh,
shelf.
I thought that
Okay.
was the window.
Yeah, those are toys on a shelf. They're not colored in because they're in shadow. That was.
I got
Uh-huh.
it. Okay.
Ah.
Oh, I see
Can
the
I-
windows behind
okay.
the.
Yeah.
Can I just say this kind of kicks ass because like the furniture geometry and the perspective drawing is pretty good.
That's all Misha.
Pops out as like as a 3D object that's somewhat wrong somehow, you know? It's cool. But
Yeah.
wrong.
I think I might have fucked up on the cabinet and misunderstood one of the lines that Misha put there, but
Gotcha.
and I also regret looking at it now that I didn't put some shag on the rug. But
Well,
like make it pop a little bit.
It's just, I like to imagine it's Carnage, just like curled up for a nap.
and a puddle. Yeah.
The
pajamas look really good too.
I was really worried about that because I'm like, it kind of looks like there's a creepy creature with a mushroom or a marshmallow head sleeping on the bed now.
It looks like
yes.
why, Mr.
saw
Flat
that.
Body Pillowface, it's you.
Yeah. What is the what's
What it
the
is
Because it kind of looks
Marshmallow
like a
guy
face in the
from-
pillow. Stay Puffed?
no from
is there another
from Strong Bad from
Strong Sad?
Homestar. The angry
Strong sad? Oh, strong
Marshy.
mad?
Okay. Thank you.
Marshy. By the way, I think can I just real quick think I think that it looks like they suffocated Flat Stanley in a plastic bag and then mutilated his body. Cut off his hands.
Oh my god.
But it's
God,
surprisingly
fan art is over, dude.
G-rated.
But yeah, you'll notice like last time Misha's art was the flight attendant one.
Yeah.
And she likes because
Angles.
like she has to, because I go very slowly with basic objects, and so she likes taking on challenging perspectives to keep up.
I
So.
appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah. You know, it's just that, and really like the composition and the colors, it's kind of beautiful. Like it's awesome. Like as it is, another like great wallpaper to put alongside the last one of Venom and the guitar.
You know, it's kind of funny. I just Does anybody know David Malky? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but he writes Wonder Comics, Wondermark. The
Doesn't ring a
webcomic
bell.
Wondermark. Oh, you should look at. I think you would like it. But he on Twitter he had a thread talking about the color choices in Garfield and how insane they are, and they often change from panel to panel, and just your choice of wall color and floor color and sheets really reminds me of that
Interesting.
aesthetic.
Because I chose the colors and I just kept going for like bright because it's a young kid's room, and I was like, okay, well this is green,
Although,
so I can't have the things touching it be green.
I like the wine accent wall that this child has.
Yes.
That's a very mature choice.
I will say that you accidentally or made
Don't want to
like,
assign
really,
too much
really
agency
well.
to you.
Lance, no, I play my cards close to my chest, and I don't apologize for that. Life is competition. You make money or you don't. It's just...
Are we at Glengarry Glen Ross now? What was the point there? Sorry.
Look, you made a sophisticated color palette out of these bright colors, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which is
he's
wrong
a kid.
because it's a child.
He's a kid, but he's a kid with taste.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
It does slightly bother me that the pajamas are not the same color.
Oh, he's got mismatched pajamas, like
Yeah,
the top and the
he's got
bottom.
Kids love to mismatch pajamas.
Yeah, that's true.
like a rule.
That's true.
Yeah. Especially that Raimi, I knew he would mismatch his pajamas.
It's like, I want the Kraft macaroni and cheese colored top, but the
I want the
But the yellow in
Heinz-
case I wet the bed at night. You know?
Exactly.
the Heinz mustard yellow.
Right.
okay.
Yeah, those
Honey
pajama
mustard on
pants
Velveeta,
are actually plastic because of his problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Look,
going
that's
to.
not a sin. He's in heaven. We're not.
I think I got Raimi just the right size out there because I wanted to make him so far away that he was basically indistinct, but you could tell it was a human. So.
Okay, and now I'm gonna go into Discord.
Oh, that's weird. We've got
Yes.
static over there. It's like Twin Peaks shot or something.
Yeah, I was sick of like showing random Discord conversations while I switched people. So, put that.
All right.
Okay, I have
Oh,
an
now
idea.
joining us, Carol Ann from Poltergeist.
Here's
Here's what now?
I have a pitch.
Okay.
We take all this art. We put it online, but with the DeviantArt, the big DeviantArt watermark in the middle that they have on things that you can pay for.
Right.
But we sell that as prints, not on DeviantArt, that still have the watermark on them. That's my idea.
Okay. It's a little
it
out
says
there,
fan-
a little conceptual.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I really wish that.
Look, listen. If you can conceive of it, let me know.
You know, I'd love to have these framed and on my wall. I gotta admit.
I really wish that as a review you could post fan art or whatever, because I'm like,
oh yeah.
the Reba author might not enjoy it, but I bet the Man of the Year would enjoy it, right?
Sure.
I don't know. I get some serious incel vibes from him. I don't.
Despite
I
Maybe.
actually think
yeah.
I think
his
that
marriage.
real fans do stuff like this.
You said doo-doo.
That is true, though.
we are highbrow,
Just
ladies
do
and
it. Just
gentlemen.
cancel me. Just cancel me.
I mean, people did respond positively to like your OC for the Yu-Gi-Oh story, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was reading the chat. I didn't catch that.
Oh, Kanyun?
Yeah. I was saying that people did react positively to Kanyun.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So do you have the link, Michael, to
What are we? Sorry, which
We're
are we
on
doing? Reba
family
now?
troubles, yeah. Chapter
Yeah. What are we?
Chapter
Long
10,
episode.
Cheyenne's Breakdown.
Sunday morning. Rayford,
On the island,
Reba,
so-
Cheyenne, Van, and Kira were
bathroom.
walking into the church.
I hope we can get a good seat. There were a lot of cars in the parking lot.
Reba says,
Okay, so just to catch us up, the drinking game for this is characters just looking at things, but also speaking.
Okay. Yeah.
And we are at 60.
I have a question. Why is the church so crowded after the rapture?
Because they
Going
want
to church
I
doesn't do
answers.
anything?
This is the
Oh,
wrong
okay.
church.
Oh,
"Yeah, I think this is Reba's
Right.
church, right? Which doesn't
Mhm.
believe in the rapture. Is that right?"
Although
Oh, come on.
I remember Raimi saying, like, I don't think Rayford has much use for Pastor Billings. And I thought Pastor Billings went to the same church. So
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have much use for him. That's why he's still on Earth.
Pastor
I just love
Billings
the
is a
idea.
useless
Yeah.
bastard.
I just love the
He's a
idea.
joke
Pastor.
and a nobody.
And just to be clear, the pastor actually does share Steve Plank's views on God.
oh, no
that is
wonder.
Pastor.
No
You looked that up?
wonder.
Okay.
Well, you're
right,
not
so
going
it's-
to float away naked.
So we're ready.
Not with
We're
those
ready
shoes.
I need a shirt with a disclaimer that lets everybody know that I do not share Steve Plank's views on God.
we need
All
need
right.
that in the merchandise.
Merch!
All right. So Rayford is speaking, Tristan. Just so you know.
Oh, Tracy did Reba's?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm sorry. We don't want to sit in the front pew, do we?
Rayford asks.
Maybe not the front pew, but very close to the front. We want to be able to find out what's going on if they can tell us.
Wait, what? They've already been to church. I mean, they've been here before. Remember Chris committed
Yeah.
suicide?
Yeah, but Pastor Bruce said, everybody come back in like an hour and a half.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Go
Reba says.
home. I don't care. I just want Elizabeth back.
Cheyenne whimpers.
Cheyenne, honey, I'm sure she's fine. Whoever got her won't hurt her.
That might have been your voice, Drew, was Elizabeth. Reba replies, holding on to her daughter.
Hold on. Wait.
Elizabeth does not have any
Reba reply.
lines.
Right.
Oh, wait, she doesn't have
Yeah,
She's been raptured. I'm saying that might have been you, and they got raptured. So.
it wasn't. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure it was
okay.
Barbara Jean, but
I think
Oh.
Elizabeth was like an infant.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
So
sure
many
Drew
goddamn
had
characters.
a wonderful.
I know, there's a lot.
interpretation of it.
There's a very sensitive, careful portrayal.
Okay. Where are we? Did we get through?
Cheyenne
Yeah, that was
saying,
my
how
problem.
can you?
Okay.
How can you?
How can you be so sure, Mom?
Cheyenne asks.
You're always like, sure, Mom. Because Cheyenne, I want to believe that Jesus took her up to heaven.
Reba says.
Oh shit.
Reba says, trying to comfort her daughter.
But if he took her, why didn't he take us? We go to church.
Cheyenne hollers. She falls back. She falls into her mother's arms.
Cheyenne, we do go to church, but we didn't have a special personal relationship with God, and now we get a second chance. But it's going to be hard.
We're gonna have to butter the hell out of them biscuits.
We're going to
Reba
have
says.
to butter the biscuits, and we're going to have to make them ourselves.
That's character development.
God's not going to make those biscuits any longer because he's going to be too busy taking care of all those raptured young babies.
I just want to have Elizabeth back in my arms. I'm afraid I will never see my daughter again. Do you have any idea how it feels to not know if your child will ever be around again? I miss her mom. Wait, I'm her mom.
Her mom was inside you all along.
The rapture was the friends we made along the way.
I just realized I never put the title as Fanfiction Theatre. Oh well.
She was too little for God to take her. What kind of God would take a child away from her mother?
Cheyenne asks, crying.
Shine? Sorry. Shine, Jesus is probably holding Elizabeth right now in his arms. She's perfectly safe. I wouldn't want her to be anywhere else.
Reba replies.
See, now I'm imagining that somewhere in heaven, Jesus is punting Elizabeth like a football.
Don't kick the baby. That was chapter 10, Cheyenne's breakdown.
Chapter
On
11.
to chapter 11, Rayford calms Reba.
That's a paragraph. That's a paragraph from your outline.
Yeah. Okay, Cheyenne.
If your so-called loving God could take my little girl away from me, then I don't want any part of him or his love.
Cheyenne hollers walking away from the church.
Shine!
Reba says, running after her. Cheyenne leans against the car door as Reba runs over to her.
Shine! He didn't take Elizabeth from you. Sorry, I got tripped up there because she didn't capitalize the Lord's pronoun.
That's true.
Like I was told you needed to do in my Becca homeschool books.
Maybe.
Now, see, if I were Kevin Sorbo, I'd give her extra credit.
Yeah.
Because that actually happens, and God's not dead. Oh, he didn't capitalize the G. Extra credit for you.
Yes, exactly. Lowercase g.
Saucy.
Deserves extra credit. He's on Twitter. I just started following him on Twitter, by the way. He's got a lot of
Good content.
Okay.
Good content.
And I just want to bring up, like, dredge up the dumbest thing he's ever done on PureFlix and, like,
Throw it in his
shove it in
face.
his face.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know what it is. Probably the horse one. I don't know.
Which
Horse
one?
one.
He was in like 5 of
you know,
those.
it was one of the horse ones. But the one with Kevin Sorbo.
Spitfire says Ori's just trying to carry millions of babies. He's got his arm full. Why? It's like the why can't I hold these limes, but with babies.
Yeah.
All right, Tracy, finish your line.
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. I got distracted.
I got lost. Oh, Cheyenne, it'll be okay, Rayford says. Did Rayford say something?
He didn't take Elizabeth from you.
He said
We're
those
in the
lines.
second-
We're
No, he didn't. He got tripped up on he.
That's right.
oh,
Second paragraph.
I've just read it like
Yes,
17
thanks.
times by now.
Cheyenne, he didn't take Elizabeth from you. How can you say that? How can you say that?
You say that Elizabeth is with Jesus. Well, he
You
didn't take me. So he's taking her away from me. I don't want any part of
yeah.
anything that would do that. If it makes you feel good to think that Jesus did this, and that it's because he loves you, then that's fine. But I don't buy it, and I never will.
Cheyenne screams and then runs off.
Jesus is the most notorious kidnapper of all time. You've heard it here.
Cheyenne!
Reba calls across the parking lot. Rayford walks over to her. He wraps his arm around her.
Oh, it'll be okay.
Rayford says. Reba looks up at him.
No, it won't.
Reba replies with tears in her eyes.
Because Elizabeth is gone. I'm afraid that Cheyenne will be gone from the Lord forever. She'll probably blame him for the rest of her life because of this. Will you have a talk with him?
Let her go. She'll come back. Hey, I'm picturing her
Yo-yos
like
always do.
Justin Chatwin in War of the Worlds. He's just running over a hill towards a huge explosion. Just let her go. She has the right. She has to vent right now because she just lost her daughter. I don't know if you picked up on that.
Rayford says,
But you lost a son, and you aren't acting like that.
Reba states,
Acting is hard. I know that Raimi is with Jesus. I've been warned and warned by Irene and Raimi both. Cheyenne hasn't been as influenced by this as I have. It'll be okay.
Rayford replies, hugging her.
I hope you're right. I sure hope you're right.
Reba says, as she and Rayford walk into the New Hope Village Church in Mount Prospect, Illinois. That was chapter 11.
Pirates are planted in the past.
Etc.
Rayford calms Reba. Wow, these chapters don't give much longer. Do we want to keep going with this? Do we want to do a fairy wars? Or?
More.
I think we're gonna.
I have a question about this.
Yeah.
Reba is a sitcom, yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where would we insert audience laughter? I think we should keep that in mind
Yeah.
as a read off. Like,
I think that's a great idea.
and maybe some sitcom bumper music at the end of the chapter.
Like that?
Yep.
Can you guys hear that? Okay, good.
Is it,
Because if you can't, I sound like a crazy person.
Yeah. If you can't, I'm just jamming out over here by myself. Jamming out to that weird tuba. Okay. Chapter 12. Church and Reba's talk with Cheyenne. I feel like we passed the talk with Cheyenne. But
sure.
The dead cat from Pet Cemetery is going to have a talk with Cheyenne along with Reba. A much disheveled Pastor Bruce Barnes walked onto the
Brucey.
platform in the sanctuary.
would everyone please sit down? We need to get our service started.
Bruce said, everyone was still being a little rowdy.
There's a mosh pit in the front row. It's insane.
That's why you
But
don't
want to
want the
sit a
front
couple
pew.
rows back. Yeah. yeah.
You skillet!
Skillet causes another riot. Please, please. We need to start our service. I would like you all to be quiet.
People are still
Pastor begins service. Please, guys, it's time to begin service. I'm your pastor.
People are still hollering and getting excited. Reba stands up and whistles through her teeth. That quiets everybody down, and they sit down.
Mrs.
Slice
Steele,
them down, shuts them up.
Mrs. Steele, I owe you thanks.
That would be a good. That would have been a good place for sitcom laughter. I think.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
That just
all
sounds
it
like an
gets.
airport.
Down a little bit.
That's all it deserves, really.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
I love the roulette of whether the audience digs it or
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I've got like 12 laugh tracks in here, so
Is it
Excellent.
randomized?
yeah, totally random. Okay,
Bruce nods at her. She sits back down. Rayford rubs Reba's back.
Rayford rubs Reba's back. Rayford
Huh.
rubs Reba's back. Okay.
warming up. Okay.
hon, we need
Red
to
leather,
let the
yellow
pastor get the attention of his congregation.
Isn't that what she just did?
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem's solved, man.
Rayford says,
Oh, Ray, please. What am I gonna do that's gonna do any harm?
Spitfire points out that there's still a pool of blood in the aisle at this point.
Yes. Yeah, did they stick Christopher in the closet or?
Right? Reba asks.
Bruce. Okay. You must all be wondering what my take is on the disappearances that happened just a few nights ago. They.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those few hours they were away,
Yeah.
a lot longer than I thought.
I must tell you all that if I had known a few weeks ago, I would have gone with the others. It's not that I didn't know exactly. I had been warned, just like each and every one of you. I knew it was coming. I just didn't believe it. So ignore my previous sentence. Now I do.
If I had
Shitty pastor.
Yeah, this guy sucks.
really, Bruce says. Oh, this
I
is
think
good.
The audience should react to that. I think they might find it laughable.
Yeah,
as we
here,
do.
this is, I'll just do this. What are you talking about? Someone in the congregation calls out. Very apt, I think.
I believe that Jesus Christ has come back for his church. What we experienced was the rapture. We were left behind, trademark, because we weren't his true followers.
Bruce replies, "But I've gone to church my whole life. I know almost all the stories from the Bible." Someone else hollers,
Zacchaeus, Elijah, all of them.
Yeah, I got it. Kept all nice and card. Look, I got all the rare ones. I got Zacchaeus. Yeah. I pulled it.
I even cut my newborn baby in half.
Just like those great Old Testament guys who had no problems with the morality and weren't confused at all.
Did you believe that Jesus is the Messiah and that he died on the cross for you? Do you believe that he's coming back?
See, I'm imagining that being more sassy with his hands on his hips. Like, did you believe that Jesus was the Messiah?
Well, did you remember to believe that Jesus is the Messiah?
this is the response.
I love, no, yeah, the response is perfect.
Crazy. I'm reading that too.
Bruce asks, "I'm of Jewish descent. We are still looking for our Messiah."
Sir, you're in the wrong church.
Sir, this is the Wendy's.
You're in a church.
What the hell? Two people just randomly yelling at each other who should not be anywhere. Like, this makes no sense. He calls out.
The whole church.
Jesus.
Maybe Bruce is in the wrong place.
Sir, Jesus is the Messiah. That's why you are still here. You were searching for someone.
Go to church to heckle.
Yeah.
Can I get an amen? No, we're Jewish.
Yeah. Spitfires, that's supposed to be the same guy who just said all that about knowing the whole Bible. Yes, I believe so.
Yes.
So he didn't finish the second part.
Yeah.
Well, we have a someone else hollers from it would.
Yeah.
We have no clear answer.
Jesus is the Messiah. That is why you are still here. You are searching for someone who has been looking for you too. Only you've been looking in all the wrong places.
Looking for Jesus in all the wrong places. Bruce says,
Looking for God.
later on, after church, Reba, Rayford, Van, and Kira walk out of the church.
I think it was a very good service this morning.
Really?
What?
Do you?
What low bar does she have? Nobody slit their wrists in the middle of the aisle, so that really seemed a good one to me.
I liked when he called out that Jew.
Favorite part right there.
And hey, He's right. Jews did kill our Lord. So.
All right, say your
Oh,
second
sorry.
part.
Did you say what do you all? If you said
What do
it,
you
I
all
didn't
think?
hear.
Yeah.
Reba asks, looking at her daughter and son-in-law.
Looking directly into the camera. Oh, sorry.
What
I missed.
do y'all
I
think?
missed later on after church. I thought it was good.
Rayford. I like how she looks at her daughter and son-in-law, and Rayford replies. Rayford replies.
I made a
I mean,
lot of
that's-
good progress on Farmville. Or
See, I just see this as typical Nick Cage ego. He's just assuming she's talking to him.
I have no idea who had Kira or Kyra. If anyone.
Maybe that was Drew.
Maybe. Oh, where's Kira? Where are you, Kira?
I can't believe.
I don't know who Kira is. So
isn't that the alternative daughter?
Yeah, I think Kira's the alternative one.
I
okay.
thought Chloe was the alternative one.
Oh, God
Although-
damn it.
Chloe,
Maybe
Chloe
is.
is
Years ago, I found
Rayford's daughter from previous marriage.
Ah.
I can't believe all this people fell for that. I think it's a ridiculous idea.
Everybody
says-
stop doing my voice that I have for Chloe. Not
You
every
don't
teenage
have
girl
to
can
do
sound
it.
like that.
Kira
Oh,
says.
Man, you can't
It's
own
spreading.
an identity.
Wait, was Chloe raptured? We haven't checked in with Chloe. Why isn't Chloe here?
Didn't she run away earlier?
I don't
They don't
know.
invite Chloe to anything.
Yeah. It was your dad's idea not to invite you. Okay.
Van.
Who's Van? Van's the,
Okay.
like,
I actually know
football
Van's
guy.
voice now because I watched a third of an episode. He's basically Vince the ShamWow guy. You would.
Van states. Kira sticks her tongue out at him.
Kyra Eleanor, knock it off. He was just saying something. You didn't have to be rude. He wasn't.
Reba
He
said.
wasn't. Oh, you didn't have to be rude. He wasn't.
Reba says, and then looks at Rayford.
You guys head home. I want to go look for Cheyenne.
Okay, he clearly was being rude, right?
Yeah, he was being a dick.
He
Yeah.
was an innocent bystander.
This is how how boys are treated differently than women. The author is making a very
Yeah, okay,
pointed
yeah.
note here about toxic masculinity.
Let's not get political, guys. Let's not get political.
Kyra, my Van is my favorite child. You don't talk to him like that.
But Van the kid, I don't care.
Spitfire says I've got the Reba wiki open. Close. But I will make a small correction that Van is not her son. He's dating her daughter Cheyenne, I think.
Right? Yeah, he's
Right?
Eleanor's dad.
So
He's
why isn't
Eleanor's
he
dad.
running and searching for Cheyenne?
He's just not concerned. Like,
Okay.
she does this every other week. It's
Yeah. Let her
Okay.
go.
I'll call the cops. She's naked at the Costco again.
You probably won't have to look very far before you find her. I think that's her
Rayford.
crucified on that phone pole.
Rayford says.
What makes you say that?
Reba asks.
Cheyenne is mad at God for taking her little girl, but she's still looking for answers. He has them. She just has to trust him. God, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know how hard that is, especially when your children are involved.
Rayford states.
Oh, do I know? Oh,
Reba replies.
I will be home soon enough. I love you.
I love you too.
Rayford kisses her.
Goodbye.
That would be the audience. Aww.
Goodbye. Bye, kids.
Fire! Hot!
Reba waves and walks away. Going about 3 blocks from the church, Reba sees Cheyenne sitting on a park bench.
Seat taken?
Reba asks as she sits down. Cheyenne looks at her and then looks down at the ground.
No, it's not taken.
Cheyenne says quietly,
I know that you are upset with God, honey. What did you do? When I found out that honey was actually sourced from multiple different colonies mixed together, I lost family just like you did. My granddaughter, my stepson, my son.
possibly my stepdaughter.
I'm not bringing that up. Do you see me graveling?
You hear me graveling?
You see me graveling and complaining about it? No.
So I looked it up. Gravel can be a verb. It can mean to cover or spread with gravel. Perplex or confound or irritate or nettle disappointingly. So
hold on.
So I think this author was trying to use it correctly. They just made it intransitive rather than transitive.
I would assume that they meant groveling or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was groveling.
Not that
But
that
groveling
makes
doesn't make any
sense
sense, does it?
either. Yeah.
Groveling? Well, she's talking about, like, it's not quite right, but it's closer. I think it's our best lead.
Yeah.
I like the idea that they were using this really obscure version of the verb gravel.
You are giving Dr. Michaela Quinn too much credit.
Look,
I think
she
we're not
went to
giving
med school.
Reba
Okay?
enough credit, actually. You see, the graveling is like giving up, and like because Reba's always saying on the show, we ever do one of those ugly gravel lawns, just shoot me because I'm dead.
All right, this conversation is beginning to gravel me.
Okay.
Reba says,
Mom, you don't understand. She was my only child. You at least have 3. You've got me, Kyra, and Jake.
Well, I never named him, and I feel bad about that.
See, I misread that sentence as you have at least 3.
right,
And I
that was
like, what?
Same thing here. She's like, I can't remember how many, but at least 3.
You got like what? 3 kids? I don't know about.
That we know of.
Yeah.
Only one of us is gone. Then of your 2 stepkids, you've still got Chloe. I don't have anybody.
Oh, someone's been doing her math story problems.
Cheyenne cries, looking at her mom.
Oh, honey.
Reba gathers Cheyenne in her arms.
Sweetheart, what about Van? You still have your husband, baby. You still have your husband, baby. That was a very special episode.
I married him.
Just because you lost a child, you can always have another.
That's right.
It's like the least impressive thing that happens all the time.
Can you, though? I mean, I feel like that's a question that's
Just
left
have
up.
another one. For God's sake, stop crying about it and just make another one.
It's very like it's like that whole like on the plane where the oxygen mask comes down, you know, it's like care about yourself first and then your kids second. It's like the extension of that. But do we know that that's true though? Like in a post-rapture world, can you make babies? Who knows if that's even possible?
Is the
right?
raptor is the rapture an ongoing?
That would be much more awesome if a raptor had killed everybody.
See, like, what if she carried a baby for 9 months and then it just disappeared out of her?
Right.
I just made that out of cottage cheese and mashed potatoes and Worcestershire sauce for 9 months. Give me back my food.
Although, if it were a rapture, if the Christian rapture were true, it would probably dissipate after like a week or less.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I wish that was something that Left Behind series.
It might deal with that. God only knows. I don't
Yeah.
think anybody ever made it past like book 1.
I know. Okay. Did we get to? Okay. You can always have another. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not saying that another child will ever take Elizabeth's place.
Reba says.
But on the other hand, what do you think happened to her?
Cheyenne asks.
Want my honest opinion?
Reba questions.
Of course.
Cheyenne replies.
I think that she's with Jesus.
Reba says.
We established that two chapters ago.
Like 4 chapters ago, I think.
Well, if you believe that, then I'm glad you can. I want to believe.
I'm glad you can.
If you want to believe that, then I'm glad you can. I want to believe that way too.
Cheyenne replies.
Oh, Cheyenne, you can feel like this and become one of God's children?
Reba says.
Well, then I want to.
Cheyenne replies. She hugs her mom tightly.
I want to get my baby girl back. I want to kill God. Or, sorry, I want to find Elizabeth.
Same difference. Okay, so are we just like...
Let's just keep going. Let's just plow through this, honestly. These are so short and
Yeah, and
We've only
inconsequential.
got like 3 or 4 chapters left to go.
Yeah.
we're not racking up any just says, but they're just so
Yeah.
damn short then.
Yeah, they seem to have gotten over that. They've got nothing to just stare at anymore.
Yeah, both of these authors have improved, and it just warms the cockles of my heart to see that sort of employment.
Actually, we put our faith in them to not kill us tonight. And it's wonderful.
Do you think a husband baby is like a baby daddy? But okay, anyway, 13, small group.
The other way around?
Yeah.
Reba, Rayford, Cheyenne, Kyra, and Jake walk into the living room.
Okay,
Chloe.
all right, this is going to be funny.
Chloe is sitting on the couch in the living room.
Oh, we might want to diagram this. Can we get the flannel graph?
How
Wait,
is
flower.
church?
Chloe asks, looking up at them.
It was a good service. People are disheveled because nobody knows what happened to their loved ones.
They were also graveled. Reba says.
I guess they were all dressed by their loved ones previously. They don't know how to do it themselves.
Well, the author used disheveled a couple chapters ago, so I think that's their word of the week.
Yeah,
that they're
yeah.
just really excited about.
I gotta know what that's like.
Chloe mumbles to herself. Rayford sits on the arm of the Rayford sits on the arm of the couch and hugs Chloe.
That seems awkward.
That's not where you sit, Rayford.
He can sit wherever the hell he wants. He's Nick Cage.
Nicholas
There's a
goddamn Cage.
wrong way to use a couch, damn it.
Chloe, you aren't the only person to
I'll sit on
lose
your
somebody. I also lost Raimi and Mom. So shut the hell up.
who are part of your family as well. I mean, that's really not... Rayford says. The telephone rings.
There's grieving, and then there's just graveling, you know?
That's like I always say. There's grieving and there's traveling. Got to choose what you're doing.
It's nice they still have telephone service with
Yeah.
all the fires and explosions and
Yeah.
Did you say hello, Tracy? Sorry.
No.
Hello?
Reba asks as she picks up the phone.
Oh, hi, Pastor Barnes. Sure, you can talk to him.
Reba hands Rayford the phone.
I think that's still Reba.
Yeah.
Really? I'll see you in a little bit.
No, what? What? What?
And then he
Where the
just
hell are
hangs it
you?
up.
You skipped a paragraph.
Wait, no.
He wants to talk to you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
We gotta kill the Antichrist.
He wants to talk to you. He wants to
Rayford-
talk to you. Sorry.
Rayford puts the receiver up to his ear.
Good place for it. Hi, Bruce.
He thought about it
Reba
first.
gives him a thumbs up for his placement.
You're gonna make a good husband, baby, one day. Rayford says.
Sure, I can be there early. Chloe?
Rayford pauses.
I'm sure that could be arranged. You feel like being sacrificed, honey?
Let's get into Wicker Man territory. Chloe looks at Rayford and gives him a look.
I'll see you.
Oh, she almost just looked. Damn it.
Yeah. I'll see you in a little bit.
Rayford hangs up the phone.
What's going on?
I think he's called to say, like, okay, this time I really am going to have the service ready. If everybody would just come back in another hour. Reba asks him. Rayford looks at Chloe.
Bruce wants to meet with me and Chloe at the church. He's starting a small group, and he wants us to be a part of it. It's going to be several people in the church. We'll be like a Bible study group that will meet every day.
Rayford
And
replies.
brainstorm and try to figure out how the hell we get out of this hole. Oh, God.
I'm not going.
Chloe states standing up.
Chloe, please. It was your mom's church. She would want us to go.
Did I mention it will be a small group? Rayford says. Chloe whirls around and glares at him.
Spitfire says everyone else in the church can just go to hell. Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering. Like he's tired of.
He's excluding Reba.
So they're dividing up the church further now that they've been completely cut off from all good Christians.
I really hope that this goes into like cult territory. Like Pastor Barnes is like, no, God has started speaking to me post rapture, and he says that all the women need to get naked.
I think that the obvious ending here is that it will merge and become a crossover with Revolution Road.
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
think.
We're gonna get.
You mean Revelation Road?
Yeah.
Yes,
Revelation Road. All three of them.
David A.R.
And we're
White's gonna come in and kick some ass.
I haven't seen it, but you
David
yelled at
A.R.
me for
White.
trying to make that joke like months ago, and I said revolutions.
No, I didn't. No. You're the
Okay.
puppet.
Did we say Chloe rolls around and glares at him?
Yep.
Yeah.
You never went to church when she was alive, so I don't know why you want me to go to church with you now that she's dead.
Chloe hollers.
Dad! She's not dead, Chloe.
Rayford starts to say.
She's in
live, Chloe.
She's in heaven. Yeah, I know.
Chloe interrupts.
Come on, Chloe, please.
Rayford asks.
No. No, I'm not going to go, and you cannot make me. I'm an adult with my own life.
Chloe hollers running up the stairs. Rayford looks at Reba.
She just might not be up to it yet. Go on. It'll be okay.
Reba replies, looking at Rayford.
Okay, can't
Okay,
wait to see
on
what
to-
this small group accomplishes.
Well, with Tristan's voice, I'm just imagining Chloe as Lumpy Space Princess
Yeah.
the entire time.
Yep, it's arriving right there.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Oh!
What?
Okay, now listen, guys.
It's him. It's him.
No, hold on. I'm addressing it. I may be voicing Steve Plank in this, but
Okay.
that does not mean.
All right.
Oh,
You love Steve Plank. Admit it.
No, I do not follow the teachings of Steve Plank.
Okay.
guys, I have
Who's
a
better?
terrible
still do
admission to
stand-up.
make. I have found myself wandering into the beliefs of Steve Blank and really questioning.
Well, I gotta tell you, I fully agree with Steve Plank and his views on God. So
Oh, thank
I have
goodness
some
I'm not
literature.
alone.
I have some literature here
what-
if you'd like to read it.
Some
You won't do
planks.
this on stream, so we can't
Gonna
stop
share
you.
some planks
Oh,
with us.
God damn it! Plank number 1. We can start. We
Some
can
plank
sell
tracts.
wisdom planks.
So
Steve
chapter
Blank.
14, Buck to Chicago and Bruce's group meeting.
But Buck, want you to go to Chicago.
Steve Plank says to him. Buck turns around and looks at him.
Why do you want me to go to Chicago?
Buck questions.
We need someone to replace Lucinda Washington. It's your job to go and find a replacement. Take as long as you need.
You're not going there to replace her. You're just finding a replacement. Steve replies.
Oh, okay. For a second there, I was confused. But Steve, why can't anyone else go? I'm on assignment.
Buck says.
You can work while you're there. Now go. Working. You can work while you're there working for me.
Steve
work
states
on the go.
forcefully.
Can go while you work, and you can work while you work.
Okay, I will go.
Buck replies. All right, end scene music. Fade in. Mount Prospect, Illinois. Rayford walks into the church and sees Loretta sitting at her desk.
Hi, Loretta.
He says,
Loretta.
We need a
Do we
Loretta.
have a Loretta? I'll
Um,
be a Loretta.
yeah,
I'll be a
okay,
Loretta.
yeah, good.
Hello, Mr. Still.
I think it's more like, hello, Mr. Steele.
Hello, Mr. Still.
Loretta
You
replies.
cannot call me that.
Oh, there's no reason to be formal, Loretta. You can call me Ray or Rayford.
He states.
Okay, then. Rayford.
She says. He smiles.
That's much better. Where's Bruce?
He asks.
Pastor Barnes is in his office with a few elders from the church.
She states.
Oh, well, I can just wait.
Rayford says, quickly. He sits on a chair outside his office. Loretta stares at him.
Didn't you know, Rayford? They're there waiting for you.
Loretta says.
Really? Oh, well, then I probably should get into that meeting, shouldn't I?
Rayford asks with a smile. Loretta nods. He walks into the office. Bruce gets out of his chair and walks over to greet Rayford. It's these moments that we'll treasure later.
I kind of thought things would get more interesting after the rapture.
Now there's literally no goal and nothing to do but hang out
Yeah.
until you're tortured, until you're tortured 1,000 years or whatever.
Yep.
Fine. Like, seriously, just, okay, fine. To hell with all of it. Do whatever the hell I want.
Rayford.
And that's exactly how it is in David A.R. White Revelation Road series.
Wow. Rayford, I'm so glad you're here.
Bruce says, hugging him. They look at the other men in the room.
I'm sure you all know about Captain Steele. His ex-wife and son attended this church before the rapture. You remember the rapture, right? And he, his wife, and stepchildren were in this church this morning.
Referring to him as Captain Steele, it sounds like they're going to make a superhero
Yeah.
group. The other men nod at Rayford. So they just
More of a
wanted to bring
Suicide
Chloe.
Squad, but yeah.
They wanted to bring Chloe in with a group of only men. It really was going the cult way.
Yeah.
She made the right
The
call.
other men nod at Rayford. Bruce motions for Rayford to sit in a chair by the door.
Well, I called you all here tonight because I want to talk about us starting a little core group that meets here after church in the morning and at least once throughout the week. That way we can discuss what that morning's service meant to you, what the Lord was saying to you, and it could help me prepare my service for the next week. He's just trying to
If you
push
would have
off
asked
some of
me-
the work.
And
If you would have asked
find
me-
some kind of theology loophole, please. I need people looking at this day at night.
If you would have asked me last week if I would have needed this help this week, then I would have said that I would have gone to the future and asked myself that this was the future that I would have chosen. But now that is not the future that is last week, and so I think that would be a good idea, one of the men in the room says.
This Jewish guy?
Well, I just wanted to call you here tonight to see if any of you wouldn't want to be part of this group.
You could have done that over the phone.
You who said it was a good idea, do you want to be part of the group? Or
I'm Jewish. Why did you call me?
Why do I go here?
Bruce replies. He looks around the room.
all of you agree to be part of the core group?
Bruce asks. They all nod.
Well then,
See, you know who would be good in a core group is Steve Plank. Thank you.
He's no match for Captain Steel.
Oh, that's true. He's got
Captain
abs
Abs of
steel.
Steel.
I just picture it's Rayford and a bunch of like Orthodox Jews with the braids and the beards sitting all around
Yeah.
the room.
I think that would be one of a good idea.
Well then, I won't hold you up. We'll see you all next week.
Bruce replies, standing up.
Shuffles away. Just
This priest is a master of just putting shit off.
She's not. The cat was doing something funny. She has this habit of where she eats and then she licks her face and she like throws her head back to try to get her tongue further up her face. Okay.
Just one sentence.
Bruce replies standing
Just
up. Okay.
You can do it, Tristan. I believe it.
Oh,
It's a tough line.
would like to close us in a word of prayer?
Who knows? Because F that, on to the next chapter.
No one.
I feel like it ran a little short.
We are tearing through this.
Yeah, the next chapter's pretty long, though.
Disclaimer!
There's a disclaimer on this one.
Oh, what?
Is it about Steve Plank?
No.
Disclaimer. I do not own any of the Left Behind or Reba show characters or
Now
settings.
she tells us.
Oh, wait. I guess I've never seen I've never seen Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, but I guess I assume it's like, nor do I own the speech from the videotape given by Pastor Billings at the end of this chapter. That speech belongs to the writer of Left Behind, but I have been allowed to use it with his authority.
His again.
She straight up went and got the writer's permission. That's fantastic.
Yep. And he was like,
What was, yeah, sure, whatever.
She's a woman
Yeah,
of God, and she is always honest when engaging with
yeah.
ridiculous.
Or she asked somebody with the same name who was not at all the Left Behind writer, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead."
Yeah, do it.
Rayford walks in the front door of his home, and sees his wife and stepchildren on the couch.
Well, it looks like I am a part of the core group at the church.
Rayford states.
Me to go to heaven.
The phone rings twice, and Reba picks it up.
Hello, Steel resident.
Reba says,
Yes, just a moment.
"In You come to church again? I need somebody to lock up, and I'm just not really up for that tonight. Reba hands the phone to Rayford.
Spitfire says, weird, it didn't list every person who was in the room. How are we to know? We don't know who's there.
Yeah,
Could be anyone.
That's true.
This is a mystery.
Kira was listed 2 chapters ago and had no lines.
Yeah.
No
Just letting us
disclaimers.
know she's in the room.
Disclaimers are not part of the drinking game, although
I don't care.
you got to drink hard liquor for that. Also, Kitty says she got permission from My Name is Celestia Ludenberg.
Okay, that's good enough. Did we
It's
say?
Pastor Barnes, Ray?
Okay. Hi, Pastor Barnes again.
No, it was Bruce Barnes. Okay, yeah. It's Pastor Billings who's going to show up later. Sorry.
Or was he raptured? Pastor Billings.
Well, she says she's going to use... Oh, it's a videotape. Okay, yeah, so he probably was raptured. All right.
Hi, Pastor Barnes. Did you need me already after the meeting at church? I will be back up there in a minute. I've got
Rayford
nothing else to
hangs
do.
up the phone and hands it to Reba.
It didn't even no, not that. Don't come. Okay, well, I guess I'll just tell him when he gets here.
I'll be right there. I'm coming for you.
I have to go back up to the church. Pastor Barnes says he has something he forgot to give me and that he wants me to have.
Oh, well, okay.
I thought that he wanted to give that to Chloe, judging by
Yeah.
pastor behavior.
Yeah, you made her look like a whore.
You know, bringing that up reminds me to share with everyone. I got 3,000 words written on my Ultimate Betrayal Sweet Revenge.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So
Nice.
Hey, what's that
That's
thing?
half the length of that Mario and Bowser share a bed story that we read.
They didn't have sex.
Yeah, sorry. I've just
I was
been
gonna ask
editing
for
that
that.
for YouTube. So if you missed it, you'll be able to join in shortly. We're on a Reba line here, I think, right?
yeah.
Yes. Well, then go.
Reba says with a smile.
Don't leave the pastor disappointed.
Oh God, is that what they're saying these days? Give the pastor a happy ending.
Here in hell.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I always say God gives the pastor a happy beginning, and we got to give him the happy ending. Rayford kisses his wife and walks out. Oh, Rayford kisses his wife and walks out the front door again.
He sure was in a hurry.
Cheyenne states.
It's okay, Cheyenne. He just knows that the pastor doesn't have a lot of time to talk to people. So
Yes,
we
he
have to take
does.
this.
He had nothing but time.
He has a lot to do. He has a lot of personal demons to battle. And talk to people. So we have to take the space that he allots for us.
Reba responds.
You saw how disheveled he was.
Your
Oh,
time with the pastor will come, little one.
Cheyenne replied. Wow, we even get little section break brackets now. This is getting pretty fucking
single
hoity-toity
bracket?
here.
That's
Yeah.
where we need to put the music.
Oh.
Buck Williams walks into the Chicago branch of Global Weekly. He is stopped by Verna Z.
What are you doing here, Cameron?
Verna asks.
Steve Plank sent me here to find a replacement for Lucinda Washington.
Buck replies.
Well, that position has been filled. I took it over because I was Lucinda's secretary after all.
That's not how it... Verna says.
That's the order of succession.
yep.
Nepotism strikes again. Well, then I don't know, Verna.
picturing him basically as like early Goofy the dog at this point.
Who are
Wait,
you
what?
again? I don't know, Verna.
It's just this big dopey dog character.
Who? What the hell are you talking about?
So dumb and lovable and like
Okay.
easily confused, and he just seems like
Oh,
a schmucky cartoon character,
Gotcha.
like early Goofy dog.
Spitfire points out that Global Weekly is the main competitor to the Daily Bulge.
yeah.
Well, then shouldn't it be Global with 2 L's?
There you go.
Weekly? Yeah.
All right, come on,
All right.
Globular Weekly, something.
All right. Well, then I don't know, Verna, but I have a job to do, so I will be taking over your office and phone line while
I'm taking the phone line. Please do that.
while I am here to make sure nobody bothers me.
Buck replies. Verna scoffs and walks off.
I do want to apologize. There should not have been a break between here and, but I needed to take a breath because the Bill Clinton voice was taking it out of me.
Okay.
Well, there should have been a comma. That is, make sure nobody bothers me is an independent clause.
Yeah,
Right,
there
no,
should
but-
have been, but
Yeah.
Right, but he's saying,
I thought you were
I'm
doing
going to
it
take
somewhere
over your office and phone line, and I am also going to make sure nobody bothers me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't
All right,
need
next
any
scene.
help with that.
In Mount Prospect, Reba and Rayford are saying goodbye to the kids.
Are you absolutely positive that you have to leave?
Reba asks.
Mom, we have to get back to Houston sometime. We will be back later on, I promise. Tension is just high here right now. After things calm down, I will be back.
Cheyenne says, hugging her mom.
After this rapture thing blows over.
yeah, wasn't she just freaking out like 2 chapters ago?
Yeah, she had a breakdown.
Also, Rayford doesn't seem to be back to flying, so is anybody back to flying? Like,
Yeah.
And why the hell do they have to get back to Houston? Like, what the hell does it matter? There's been a rapture.
Yeah.
it's where New Country is born.
Oh, okay. Well, that you answered my question. I'm good.
Oh. Question asked and answered. Guys, if you want to call in with your personal problems, we'll answer those.
9-1 roll. Call us.
It's a Reba line,
Okay,
right?
Are you at? Oh, no.
Just
Okay. Okay. Just promise me you'll come home.
Reba says,
We're going home, Mom. We're going home, Mom. Mount Prospect is your home. It's not ours, and I'm definitely not Cheyenne.
Kyra says.
I know. Come here.
Reba replies and hugs Kyra.
I love you, Kyra. Cheyenne.
I love
Reba
Kyra,
states.
Cheyenne.
Weird.
I love you, your Kyra, Cheyenne. The little potato that you made that you keep under your bed that you named Kyra, I think is very beautiful.
We
and a
love
wonderful expression of your love for your sister.
we love you too.
Cheyenne responds.
Bye, Mom.
Jake says, hugging Reba from behind.
Bye, Jake. I love you.
A little uncomfortable. Reba replies.
Trying to escape.
Cheyenne, Kyra, and Jake walk out the door. Before they close it, Cheyenne turns around and look at her. All Cheyenne turn around and look at her.
Tell Rayford that we will see him later.
Oh, that sounds ominous. Cheyenne says.
It's called
I will.
foreshadowing.
Reba replies.
Are you guys going to be coming back up for Christmas? You
Cheyenne
don't have
looks
to
at her
keep the
mom.
Christ in anymore.
Damn it, this
Mass
author has
now.
learned.
You
This
you
author
have
is.
bigger things to fucking worry about.
This author has learned not to put just looks
well.
when they're going to talk.
Yeah, I know. It's disappointing.
Damn it! They remember.
Cheyenne looks at her mom.
To be honest, Mom, I'm not sure. The holidays will
Well,
definitely
I always told
be.
you to be honest, Mom.
Before I was sad, Mom. Now I'm honest, Mom.
The holidays will definitely be more difficult to handle now that we don't have Elizabeth. Why?
That would be much easier to handle.
Baby with
Maybe emotionally.
Okay.
Well, I think I may crack it down and just crumble and cry and start graveling all over, so it might be a little difficult. But
I may not want to celebrate anymore. Oh, well.
Cheyenne responds. Reba hugs her daughter.
honey, you may not have your daughter anymore, but you're still my daughter. If it were my only Christmas wish, would you give it? What? If it were my only Christmas wish, would you give it to me?
Reba asks. Cheyenne looks up at her mom with tears in her eyes.
I really don't know, Mom. I really don't know, Mom. I don't want to think
know,
of...
Mom.
I don't know Vera. I don't know Mom. I don't want to think about that right now.
All I know is I'm taking your phone line and you're
Taking over this case.
Cheyenne replies. Cheyenne, Jake, Kyra, and Van walk out the front door with Reba and Chloe standing in the doorway watching them. When they get into the car, Reba closes the door and walks into the living room. Chloe follows closely behind.
I'm sorry that they had to leave, Reba. I know they are your only family.
Chloe says. Reba turns around and squeezes Chloe's hand. Blood spurts out.
You like that? She's a synthetic. Well, that's okay. You and your father are my family now, too.
Reba replies. She looks up at Chloe.
I will never try to replace your mother. Mother is a very special person who can't be replaced. It's like God always says. Mom biscuits are special. They got a special ingredient.
Butter?
Mom.
No.
Oh, sorry.
You can't
Sorry.
know.
They've
You
got-
can't know.
They've
It's
got
blasphemy
bits
to
of
speak
real
of it.
mom.
Bits of real mom. Now part of this complete broadcast. But if you would like a friend, that is a position that can be filled.
Reba smiles. Chloe smiles back and sits down on the couch.
Oh, that would be an audience. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have those.
Now we need
Wish we
the...
had that.
When Rayford walks into Bruce Barnes' office, Bruce is sitting at the desk studying the Bible. Rayford knocks on the door and Bruce looks up at him.
Hello, Rayford. Thank you for coming on such short notice. I needed to talk to you about two things.
Bruce says. Rayford nods.
First of all, I was wondering if you would take this tape home and watch it.
Oh, never. It's the worst.
Oh, damn.
No.
Why do
feel
you
like
need
we're-
me to watch this duct tape?
I feel like this was a send-away gift from the Daily Bulge if you collected 300 issues.
Bruce hands
Also
him the tape.
presumptuous. Presumptuous to think that, he thinks she has a VCR. When was this written?
Yeah, I know.
Who knows?
Yeah, when did the rapture happen again?
Like 2012 or something, right?
Oh, I remember that. John Cusack was there. Right.
Bruce hands him the tape.
Labeled Videodrome. Oh, what is it?
Rayford asks. Bruce shakes his head.
Take it home and watch it. Secondly,
I don't like this.
you'll want to be alone when you do.
Maybe Chloe could be there too. That's okay.
I actually wanted to give it to her specifically, but yeah. Secondly, I am thinking about creating a smaller group inside the...
Survivor.
Rolling, just like accelerating toward his own breakdown faster than anyone thought. I need a smaller group. Smaller group.
If Rayford joins the smaller group and he doesn't ask him to join an even smaller group, then Rayford's going to constantly be thinking, why wasn't I good enough to join the even smaller group?
It's like an inverse pyramid scheme.
Yeah, it's a pyramid. That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's a funnel.
Misha says it is LSP. I don't know what LSP was. Is that
Lumpy
one of the
Space
preferences?
Princess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Spitfire says make sure the blinds are closed. Oh, right. When you're watching the tape.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thinking about creating a smaller group inside the original core group in the church. Maybe with just a few select members. I would like you to join. We would specifically be going through the Bible. And you'd study with me side by side, unlike our Bible study group.
Bruce says, what do they do at this church, for God's sake?
Just form smaller groups.
Presumably, the
side.
smaller group is just an orgy group, obviously.
I hope to God the next chapter starts with the phone ringing.
It's just a small group of people that would like to get away from the orgy group sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I like the idea that Bruce is just unraveling very quickly. But
I imagine him with like a mock-up 3D printed model of the smaller congregation inside the larger congregation.
groups within groups within groups.
He has like a nested doll that he's using.
He's like, oh yes, just move that aside. I've been designing my coffin, and it's like a bunch of nested coffins.
Yeah. And then Rayford's just blithely going along with it. I would like that very much.
Rayford replies.
Okay. Well, the first time we meet, we will be talking about what I will be telling the congregation on Sunday about that tape. Take it home, watch it, and then come back maybe with some ideas to fire at the group. That is just me, just you and me.
Just you.
Okay?
The ultra small group.
The smallest group imaginable.
We're just gonna spit.
Show yourself to me.
We're just gonna spitball. There's no bad ideas. No bad ideas. Just spitball.
Just brainstorm.
Okay.
Brainstorm.
How did it make you feel?
Whatever you're
How did it
using.
make you feel?
Whatever. Just say it. Just say it.
Now just
Rayford,
watch it nude.
Rayford, I want to invite you to a special smaller group. It's just you. You're the only one in the group.
A smaller group where I'm not even there. It's that small. Bruce asks.
And then you just do the sermons.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Rayford responds.
I'm glad. Now, I'm really busy, but I don't mind if you stay around the office for a few more minutes.
Get half a coffee and then get out.
Yeah. In fact, go get acquainted with my secretary. You'll probably see a lot of her. I have to go.
This is like grounds for a sitcom here, you know, like post-rapture, a pastor is just no good at his job, just always like let his boss take over doing the difficult things, and he's like
Starring
desperately
David
trying to
A.R.
figure out.
Send that to David A.R. White. They've been struggling to make the Christian sitcom that they thought would be so good.
Bruce states. He picks up his Bible and hightails it out of his office.
Yep.
He can't wait to get out of there. Rayford walks out of the office and over to his car.
Spitfire says he's going to pick up the phone and call his house with Ray still in the room. I need you down here right now.
Was that all we get?
I think it's
What?
slightly too loud, and so Discord's cutting it off.
my
Verna Z walks into her office and glares at Buck.
I don't know Verna.
I have
No,
talked to the boss, Verna Z. I have talked to the boss over in New York and told him about your treatment towards me.
Verna says. Buck smiles because he and the boss are close, and he knows he wasn't that rude to Verna Z.
No.
Buck crosses his arms.
Buck and Steve Plank are on the same wavelength.
They might not share the same views about God. They might. We don't.
We have no idea. What did he say?
Buck asks.
I wouldn't be so glib if I were you, Cameron. He said that he would have a talk with you when you got back to the city. And he told me that for right now, I am supposed to take over Lucinda's job since I did work right under her. Oh, it's her chair. Her very Japanese chair.
The 2001 Verna Z chair.
It's a lazy boy, part of the
Good.
lazy boy
Yeah.
universe.
Good luck with this next sentence, Tracy.
Okay. Makes more sense than let a new person take the job.
Verna replies. I mean, it does make more sense, honestly.
And it does make sense to Buck.
That's the important thing.
Well, I mean, it makes more sense than let a new person take the job. That doesn't make any sense. This does make sense to Buck.
It does indeed.
I love this subplot. I love that the author started something
flew out.
about like the peace accords and the and was like, I don't want to deal with that.
It's all gonna be about replacing Lucinda Washington.
Okay, well then, if that's cleared up for right now, I will be getting out of your hair, but I will be back.
Why?
By the way, Misha says acquainted in quotation marks.
With the
Spitfire says, I guess he didn't care to bother meeting his secretary. I guess. Buck says,
Not very soon, Cameron. I was assured of that.
she replies with a scoff. Buck walks out of the office. Run scoff program 07. Buck walks out of the office, past the water cooler to the elevator. Glad we knew the water cooler was there.
He's doing it to avoid talking about the latest sitcom. Reba.
Verna's new young secretary gets in the elevator the same time Buck does.
Another person?
Is she always that pleasant?
Buck questions. The girl doesn't want to look at him at first, but when the door closes, she looks over at him.
Oh, you mean Miss Z?
She asks,
Oh, what's the C stand for?
Z.
Oh, sorry. Never mind.
Miss Z in Canada.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, except that it's spelled out here.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Sure it is.
Buck replies.
They need to start conforming to our language.
Oh no, this is actually one of her better days. Usually she's much worse.
She responds.
Wow.
Buck states. The young woman nods. When the elevator opens, Buck steps out and walks out to the parking garage to find his car.
There's
Can't tell.
a freaking copied and pasted sermon coming.
There we go. If you get offended at the thought of religion, even though this is left behind, please don't read any further. If that is the case, I urge you to read on, but I don't want flames because I didn't warn you of the heavy religious content in the last portion of this chapter.
Unlike the rest.
Ignoring it the entire time.
Rated TVY7 for heavy religious content.
When Rayford gets home, he is carrying a videotape.
What's that?
I'm kind of like mixing this and 8mm together.
Like
I really hope that that's what's going on here. That he's giving him a tape, and it's going to be a I'm totally blanking on the word. It starts with an S. Video where somebody gets murdered. Snuff film. It's going to be a snuff film.
Yeah. Snuff film.
Yeah.
Reba asks him.
What?
Rayford questions.
Oh.
This thing I've been carrying the entire way?
Oh,
He looks down at the tape.
I am carrying a tape. Pastor Barnes gave me this tape. He didn't tell me what it was for. We should watch it.
Maybe it's for watching.
He said watch it alone, but
No, I mean, what is a videotape?
What the hell is that box? That weird, crazy box that shines like polished stone. Okay, you find time for the two of us to watch it, and we will. We'll make a date of it.
Months pass. Spitfire asks, who has read this far and is suddenly going to get upset? She must have gotten an angry letter to like, there's too much religion in this Reba fanfic or something.
Some of us do follow Steve Plank's view on God. Thank you very much.
I was gonna say the angry letter writers clearly agree with Steve Plank's views on God, and
It was just Steve Plank and his 7 sock puppet accounts.
Reba
Plank
replied,
time.
They're all Plank.
All right. I'm going to ask Chloe to watch it too, but I doubt that she will have anything to do with it. She hates any idea of the religion.
she prefers the reefer. Rayford
You
states.
should read this chapter.
Just give her time, Ray. She lost her mother and her
Blast
little
her with
brother.
the time ray.
Give her the time, Ray. Rayford. Give her the time, Ray. Slow her right down. She lost her mother.
Sorry, that was like Chloe being hit by the time ray impression.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Reba,
She'll come around.
Reba replies.
You think so?
He asks, looking at her.
No, so you just have to be patient with her.
Reba says, nodding.
Okay, I'll do what you say.
Rayford responds.
Well, right now, Pastor Barnes wants me to watch the tape.
It's like he's had a head wound. He's like, I have this one thing.
He never said anything about me watching with anybody else.
Well, I have to go do the dishes anyway. That's perfect.
Pastor wanted me to.
You go watch your tape. You watch, and if you get the go ahead from Pastor Barnes, maybe I can watch with you next time.
Rayford watches it at like
assuming.
volume 57.
she's just assuming that it's gonna be worth a positive review. That
Right,
he's gonna
right.
give it a thumbs up.
Definitely want to see Pastor Barnes' little videotape.
Reba says, with a smile. She walks out of the room and Rayford slips the tape in the VCR player. When the tape
It's a
starts
beta.
playing, a man that Rayford vaguely recognizes is sitting on the desk. It looks like it was taped in Pastor Barnes's office, but Rayford doesn't focus on that.
Hello. My name is Vernon Billings, and I'm pastor of the New Hope Village Church of Mount Prospect, Illinois. As you watch this tape, I can only imagine the fear and despair you face, for this is being recorded for viewing only after the disappearance of God's people from the earth. That you are watching indicates you have been left behind. Trademark. You are no doubt stunned, shocked, afraid, and remorseful.
Possibly
I
gravel.
like you. You may be graveling.
Or maybe you're just
wonder-
futzing around and talking about your Christmas plans. I don't know.
Please have some patience with Pastor Barnes.
I would like you to consider what I have to say here as instructions for life following Christ's rapture of his church. This is what has happened. Anyone you know or knew of who had placed his or her trust in Christ alone for salvation has been taken to heaven by Christ. Let me show you from the Bible exactly what's happened. You won't need this proof by now because you will have experienced the most shocking event of history. But this tape was made beforehand, and I am confident that I will be gone. Ask yourself, how did he know? Here's how did he know. Here's how. 1 Corinthians 15, 51 through 57. Let me read to you what the great missionary evangelist, the Apostle Paul, wrote to the Christians at the church in the city of Corinth. Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must be put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. Then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is your sting? O Hades, where is your victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to God who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ.
By this time in the tape, Rayford is very confused.
Yeah.
You know
Because
what? I relate to Rayford.
I get you, Rayford.
Because he doesn't understand what all this means.
Mm-hmm.
What does it have to do with him?
Okay, let me.
I'm not a sheep.
Let me paraphrase some of
Oh
that,
my God! Wow!
so you'll
Just take a
understand it
drink,
clearly.
Tracy. Jesus.
When Paul says we shall not all sleep, he means that we shall not all die, and he's saying that this corruptible being must put on an incorruptible body, which is to last for all of eternity. When these things have happened, when the Christians who have already died and those who are still living receive their immortal bodies, the rapture of the church will have taken place. Every person who believed in and accepted the sacrificial death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ is anticipated his coming again for them. As you see this tape, all those who have already seen the fulfillment of the promise of Christ, when he said, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, you may be also. I believe that in all such people were literally taken from the earth, leaving everything material behind. If you have discovered millions of people are missing and that babies and children have vanished, you
might be left behind.
If you go to the mall and there ain't nobody there, you might be left behind.
Okay, I lost my place. Great.
Call your pastor
okay.
if being left behind sounds right for you.
Up to a certain age, which is probably different for each individual, we believe God will not hold a child accountable for a decision that must be made with heart and mind, fully cognizant of the ramifications.
He's also kind of iffy on the age of consent as well.
Yeah.
This is not a science, guys. You
Like
may also
some kids, you
find-
look at him and you're like, okay, he knows what he's doing. But other kids, you look at him and like, oh, he doesn't know. He'll probably be raptured.
Yeah, he'll probably be raptured. But
Jesus
yeah,
is
you
choosy.
may
He
also
just kind of
find-
feels it out.
The Lord's like, rapture him. What do I care?
You may also find that unborn children have disappeared from their mother's wombs. I can only imagine the pain and heartache of a world without precious children and the deep despair of parents who will miss them so. Paul's prophetic letter to the Corinthians said this would occur in the twinkling of an eye. You may have seen a loved one standing before you, and suddenly their eye like twinkled. And suddenly they were gone. I don't envy you. I don't envy you that shock. The Bible says that men's hearts will fail them for fear. So that means to me that there will be heart attacks due to shock. People will commit suicide in their despair. And you know better than I the chaos that will result from Christians disappearing from various modes of transportation. with the loss of firefighters and police.
Now we still have all our
officers and
police officers.
Yeah.
No, that can't be. And
We confirmed that earlier in the fic. They called the police station. They just laughed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Order in heaven. And emergency workers of all sorts. Depending on when you're viewing this tape, you may have already found that martial law is in effect in many places. Emergency measures trying to keep evil elements from looting and fighting over the spoils of what is left. You know, just people trying to survive, but they don't look right. That combination of factors. Yeah, it just don't look right. You can tell by the car he drives.
Well, that's
Governments.
profiling.
Governments will tumble and there will be international disorder. You may wonder why this has happened. Some believe this is a judgment of God on an ungodly world. You got it, Sherlock. You did something right for once. Actually, this is to come later. Strange as this may sound to you. This is God's final effort to get the attention of every person who has ignored or rejected him. I say we just let him get it out of his system. Just don't respond to it and he'll stop.
God is an unruly toddler.
He is allowing now a vast period of trial and tribulation to come to you who remain. He has removed his church and from a corrupt world that seeks its own way, its own pleasures, its own ends. I believe God's purpose in this is to allow those who remain to stay stuck at themselves and leave their frantic search for pleasure and self-fulfillment. Greg. And to Christ for salvation. Let me encourage you that your loved ones, your children and infants, your friends and your acquaintances not been snatched away by some evil force or some invasion from outer space.
Probably.
No, it's good. It's good turmoil. It's done lovingly. That will likely be a common explanation. What sounded ludicrous to you before might sound logical now, but it is not. Also,
I mean, that obviously the rapture sounded ludicrous to people before, and that's why they're here.
that's
Yeah.
what I thought he was talking
I
about.
know.
Right.
But it is not. Well,
No, it's
Also-
still ludicrous, but it is happening.
also, scripture indicates that there will be a great lie announced with the help of the media and perpetuated by a self-styled world leader.
Wrong.
She knows about media.
You're the puppet. Also, Jesus himself prophesied about such a person. He said, I have some in my Father's name, and you do not receive me. If another comes in his own name, him you will receive. Let me warn you personally to beware of such a leader of humanity who may emerge from Europe. He will-
Did the Bible say Europe? Was that in there?
It's like the East. You know, they're like referring to the beast that popped out of the beef's head and pulled out all the other beasts and replaced them. That's what
The
he thinks
beast
he's so
full
sure
of
about.
smaller beasts.
The beast whose teeth were like giant slabs of metal.
I wish
Beware
we
the
were
small
following-
group of beasts within the group of beasts.
Yeah, I wish we were following the beast subplot, and he'd be like, "No, I want to make a small circle of people I really trust." And then he like calls them back, and he's like, "Okay, now I want to be part of an even smaller circle."
Here's
He
this
will turn
laser
out-
disc.
That's one way to finally find a mate. He will turn out to be a great deceiver who will step forward with signs and wonders that will be so impressive that many will believe he is God. He is of God. He will gain a great following among those who are left.
He's turning into Giamatti.
Yep.
Yep. Giamatti just slid in here, and he's earning an Oscar from it. And many will believe he is a miracle worker. The deceiver will promise strength and peace and security. But the Bible says he will speak out against the Most High, will wear down the saints of the Most High. That's why I warn you to beware now of a no leader with great charisma trying to take over the world during this terrible time of chaos and confusion. This person is known in the Bible as Antichrist.
As Antichrist.
As Antichrist. But your favorite
Antichrist,
man, he is not. He will make many promises, but he will not keep them.
Like he'll say he's going to pay the rent on time, but then the third of every month you're going to have to be like, Mr. Europe guy. Anyways.
You must trust in the promises of God Almighty through his Son, Jesus Christ. I believe the Bible teaches that the rapture of the church ushers in a 7-year period of trial and tribulation during which terrible things will happen. If you have no received Christ as your Savior, you're probably a Mexican. Your soul is in jeopardy. And because of the cataclysmic events that will take place during this period, your very life is in danger. If you turn to Christ, you may still have to die as a martyr.
Rayford has to pause the tape and take a breath. Why does he have to take a breath? He's not talking. Was he really ready for everything this tape is telling him is coming? Why did the tense change all of a sudden? Is this going to come whether he accepts Jesus or not? And what about the great deceiver? How does this guy know what's going to happen if he wasn't even here? Oh, Rayford asks himself. Okay.
I guess.
The man on the tape seems so sincere that Rayford turns it back on.
Okay, I'm pressing fast forward
Yeah,
on this
please.
because it's really late and I've got other stuff to do. And my
Oh
wife is
God! Oh,
I can take over if you
But
want.
No. It doesn't make any difference at this point while you're still on Earth. You may have been too selfish or prideful or busy. Perhaps you simply didn't take the time to examine the claims of Christ for yourself. The point now is you have another chance. Don't miss it. The disappearance of the saints and children, the chaos left behind, and the despairing of the heartbroken are evidence that what I'm saying is true. Pray that God will help you. Receive his salvation gift right now and resist the lies and efforts of the Antichrist, who is sure to rise up soon. Remember, he will deceive many. Don't be counted among them. Nearly 800 years before Jesus came to earth the first time, Isaiah in the Old Testament prophesied that the kingdoms of nations will be in great conflict and their faces shall be as flames. To me, this portends World War III, a thermonuclear war that will wipe out millions. Bible prophecy is history written in advance. I urge you to find books on this subject or find people who may have been experts in this but who for some reason did not receive Christ before and were left behind. Study, so you'll know what is coming and you can be prepared. You'll find that government and religion will change, war and inflation will erupt. There will be a widespread death and destruction, martyrdom of saints, and even a devastating earthquake. Be prepared. God wants to forgive you your sins and assure you of heaven. Listen to Ezekiel 33:11. I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live. If you accept God's message of salvation, his Holy Spirit will come in unto you and make you spiritually born anew. You don't need to understand all this theologically. You can become a child of God by praying to him right now as I lead you.
Rayford hits pause on the tape and looks at the pastor's face very carefully. He notices all the concern that truly sits on the man's face.
Hands in a Kleenex.
Phrasing. He does.
Slathered in it.
He doesn't understand everything the pastor is saying, but he knows and understands that he needs Christ. He needs forgiveness for all his sins and to know that he will see Irene and Jamie again in heaven. Jamie? Wasn't it Raimi? With Reba in the kitchen and Chloe up in her bedroom, it was quiet, so Rayford is able to have one-on-one alone time with God. He slides down to his knees. He presses play on the tape.
Pray after me. Dear God, I admit that I'm a sinner. I'm sorry for my sins. Please forgive me and save me. I trust in him right now. I believe that the sinless blood of Jesus is sufficient to pay for the price of my salvation. Thank you for hearing
Are
me
you
and
waiting
receiving me.
for us to follow along?
Thank you for saving my soul. If you were genuine, you are saved, born again, a child of God. Boom.
Pastor Billings said, Rayford feels that he wants to talk to God so much more than he did praying. Rayford feels that he wants to talk to God so much more than he did praying the prayer with Pastor Billings. He had so many sins that he needed to be forgiven for. After he was praying for his sins, he feels better. He feels so much cleaner and a load has been taken off his shoulders. Next, he prays for Chloe, Reba, and his new step family. He plans to pray for them constantly until they join him in his faith. I am sorry this chapter was so long. I wanted to get in all of Pastor Billings' message. If you are unsaved and want to get saved, it's easy. Just pray that simple prayer that Pastor Billings had on the tape, or something to the same equivalent. I'm also here to help if you need somebody to talk to. I can get you in contact with a pastor to help you in your walk with God, and if you have questions. Also, if you need, some field medicine done, this is really going to happen. Don't be left behind. Take the chance now to get saved and have eternal life with God.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. We went way over time with this chapter.
Knew it was going to
Got
happen.
a whole sermon out of it, though, so that's good.
Oh, dang.
Hopefully that pastor would call you to come see him immediately after you get home from church. Exactly.
This motherfucker's spitting.
If he's good, that's... We only have one more chapter for next time, and it's already happened, really. Rayford prays for Chloe, Reba gets saved. It's just, sorry, spoiler. That's...
Yeah.
It's real short, but I can't.
Right. No, we gotta get it.
No.
Shut it down!
Abandoned ship.
I'm going. Good night.
All right, good night.
It'll
bro.
give us something to look forward to.
Come back on Friday. We're going to stream Hard to Kill. Drawback Productions did a riff of Hard to Kill. We're going to screen that on Friday. 6:30 is the pre-show. 7 o'clock is the movie. And we are going to raid Ruby, who is playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. Have a good night, everybody. Remember, it all going according to plan.